folks, how you doing? And welcome to my channel. It is lovely to have you here. We are at day 2 of our Release 2024 group healing. And obviously I'm doing this video after I've just finished this morning's channeling before I go for lunch. And God, it's a deep one, isn't it? It's a really, really deep one. And there was a moment in the channeling where I was like, there was a lot of stuff coming up. A lot of stuff where, I'm pulling my chair in, where there'd been persecution, there'd been bullying, there'd been intimidation, there'd been all kinds of things, painful, painful things. And I was like, how do you tell people to get over it? I mean, I've never told anybody to get over it or, you know, move forward. I mean, how do you guide people to go forward from this? And one of the things that came through was it's not about getting over something. It's not about um letting go. It's about processing. It's about processing. It's about giving yourself time to process. One of the things that my guide said was, we live in a world where when when something happens to either ourselves or somebody else, we instantly want them to feel better. Look back over your life. If it's your child, your partner, your work colleague, a friend, something will happen and instantly we want to make them better. We want them to be better, we want them to feel brighter. We struggle with it. When in actual fact, that's the problem. If, for example, God forbid, you cut your hand, it's a bad cut. You're not just going to go, oh, well, I'm going to get over it. I'll get over that. I'll let it go. Because you'll die. You'll bleed to death. What you're going to do is you're going to go, oh my God. You're going to rinse it off, get some, bandage it if you can bandage it. If it's not something you can do, you're going to go to A&E, which is accident and emergency if you're not in this country. You're going to get help from it. You're going to wear a bandage. There's going to be an ointment to place on it. There may even be x-rays needed. There may even be further care needed, surgery. Other appointments to go see, I don't know, a skinologist, if there is a skinologist. A bonologist, if there is a bonologist. I think it'd be an orthopedic surgeon, but that's for another video. Um, and you'd make space for that. So you'd have some time off. You won't be putting that hand into places where you know it could get reinfected. Why don't we do that when we've got a personal problem? Imagine if you just did that with when all of this stuff started, this shit show. Imagine if you did that with that first bit of trauma, or imagine if you were encouraged to do that. And consequently, you took that lesson forward with you into your life. So, where I'm going with this is on this group healing, with any kind of healing, you will be required to purge. That could be shitting through the eye of a needle. That could be vomiting. It could be the pain body. It could be through sweating. It could be through increased urination. It could be the shakes. It could be the jitters. It could be tiredness. There could be a whole range of things. Also personal to you of how you release. We all do it in our own unique way. There's going to be a time during this group healing, either now, before it, or after it, where you're going to feel it and you're going to be like, I just paid for a group healing to get rid of this. Okay? In that moment, I want you to sit in it, because what's happening is you're purging. And I was shown an example of this morning. You're purging. And it is vital to go, I know what this is. Right. I'm going to take myself off and I'm going to feel this. And I am going to sit with it. I'm not going to try and push it down, suppress it, let it go. I'm not going to try to get over it. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to feel it. All of it. The good, the bad, the ugly. I'm going to let my body do it. And then I'm going to tune into me, not me as in Claire Thackeray, me as in you. And I'm going to see what me wants me to do going forward for the rest of the day, for the next hour or so. It could be you need to sleep, you need to rest, you need to slow down, you need to go for therapy. You need to get yourself out into nature, you need to journal, you need to whatever you need to do. And you may have to do that continuously and until it eases. Because there's a lot of things that people have gone through. There's no point BSing people and, wrapping everything up in love and light. I love love and light. I love namaste. But there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain. And you know, what I feel as well is sometimes we try and get to love and light and namaste before we've dealt with the darkness, before we've dealt with the pain, the trauma. And what happens is the love and light and namaste is great, but it's a temporary because under the surface there's that trauma, that pain, and some of it's quite dark, very dark. Um, so giving yourself that time. I was listening to some music today whilst channeling. Hopefully, I do this without causing it to come on. What's going on here? It's on my tablet, which is why I'm looking down. So this was the music I was channeling to today. It's called Guiding Lights, Deep Healing Music, Eliminates Stress, Anxiety, Calms the Mind. And it's by Fantasia Echoes. Let me just take that line down. I'm trying to be careful. Sorry about the ring light and the glare. If I remember, I will thingy it below in the description because there was the last bit of the healing that I've done before I've come on here. Literally, you were all placed in this golden temple of pure healing and peace. It wasn't about removing, it wasn't about, it was just about peace. And I think one of the things that people need right now is peace. Do you want me to read that out again? It's guiding lights, deep healing music, eliminates stress, anxiety, and calms the mind. I did, what I do is when I'm doing a group healing or a one-on-one, I'll just let myself get guided to some music. I don't always look at the title, but as I'm looking at that, eliminate stress, anxiety, and calms the mind, it does make me wonder. It really did. It was fantastic. And it's by Fantasia Echoes. I will try my best to remember to put it below. If not, let me just pop that down because it's big. If not, just rewind this bit and just watch it and then just write it down, okay? Um, when we talk about working with the shamanic frequency, it's very, very different from a lot of other frequencies out there. All the frequencies are unique and loving in their own way, but shamanic healing and the shamanic frequency. And I know none of you have had a one-on-one shamanic session with me over the past couple of days, but the shamanic frequency is soul surgery. It really is soul surgery. It's deep. It always runs deep, which is why shamanism is the most powerful form of power, of healing power on this planet. Okay? So you may feel as well like you would if you had, and I always say this to my one-on-one clients, like you've had physical surgery. Okay? So if you've had physical surgery, this past couple of days you've been in physical surgery. Think you've been in soul surgery. Think about if you've been in physical surgery. You'd reduce your diet, you'd rest, you'd book time off work if you needed it. You'd slow down. You won't push yourself, depending on what surgery you've had. There'd be a time where you needed to vomit after the anaesthetic. Okay. There'd be a time that you would actually, I think anybody watching that's had a physical surgery will say, and don't get triggered by this, but physical surgery can bring about great healing. Because if you think about trauma in the body can yes, latch on to certain areas of the body, and sometimes they need removed. And as they are removed, it comes up. Also, as well, when we've been opened up energetically or physically, we feel vulnerable. So you may feel, because this one has been a very, very deep one, this year has been deep. You may feel like you just don't want to be around people. Shopping, school mums in the playground, all of that stuff. And you may feel a bit jittery. This isn't an agoraphobic type thing. This is something different. It's like you would feel if you'd been ill or if you'd had or soul surgery or physical surgery, okay? Too many words. Listen to what your body is trying to say. Listen to what your body's trying to. Your body is a great teacher. It will tell you. Your body tells you what you should be eating, what you should be drinking, what we should be doing, all of that kind of stuff. So slow down, cancel plans if you need to. Rest, the beauty about these group healings is we always get like Thursday after it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we've got those Thursday, Friday, 4 days, dyslexic with numbers. We've always got those 4 days to recuperate. We're also heading for the solstice, wherever you're at. Well, if you're northern, southern, north, solstice, winter, summer solstice. So we've got that coming in as well. So please honor it. Please slow down. Please be present. Please honor what you're feeling. Um, because that's how we can go through this in a better way, in a better mindset, in a more powerful mindset. Also, as well, another insight that came in was, listen to this. Imagine if everything that was said and done to you this year, okay, was actually here to try to gently encourage you to step into your wise woman, wise man energy. We often, especially on the spiritual path, talk about the wise ones, wise women, wise men, the shamans, the mystics, the wizards of light, of course. Um, how do you think they get there? How do you think the high priestesses get there? How do you think the high priest got there? They didn't just sit down and read books. They didn't just watch YouTube videos. They didn't just go namaste everything. They went through the dark night of the soul. If you talk to any spiritual guru, they will have gone through, especially again with the shamanism, a part of the shaman's path can be very dark, is very dark, because one of the things we're here to master on this planet are our feelings, our emotions. We're also here to reprogram ourselves with overindulgence, and we're all here for that. It could be eating, it could be drink, drugs, all of it. We're here to master it. Sex, master that overindulgence, because we've lived in a false matrix that's encouraged every single person on this planet to unmaster themselves. So right now we're having to relearn how to master ourselves. So every wise one on this planet has had to learn that. And how do they learn that? By being put into the dark, by experiencing the dark. How do you think, how do you think you learn about these things? You know, You've ever been talking to a friend, or say, I don't know, say you go through, someone's betrayed you, and who are you going to talk to? Are you going to talk to that friend that you've got that's actually had quite an easy life? They've not gone through betrayals, they've not had much heartache, they've not really been married or anything like that. Or are you going to go to the person that's actually gone through it? Okay, that's gone through it, that can give you some help and guidance, that can give you some wisdom. So we're here to gather wisdom. So everything we go through, be it physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, it's here to teach us something. It's also here to wake us up to something in our life that we are doing. Come back to the Two of Cups energy. What within me is reflected in that. And that can be huge. That can be really huge. But it's actually true. What within me drew that in? And that can be a really difficult conversation to have. That is also a conversation that you can have in private, in your journals, in a safe space, when you're feeling strong enough to sit down and do the question, what within me attracted that in? Connect to your guides of light and go with it. Connect to your higher self and go with it. Don't overcomplicate it. Whatever comes up, sit with it, write it down. Whatever feelings, emotions, let yourself feel. Um, Another insight that came through in today's channeling was that humans have we all have, we've well we've well switched ourselves off in a big way. Well switched ourselves off. We are great at numbing down. We're all fantastic at numbing down. Doom scrolling, television, um, substances, sugar, news, gossip, switching off, disassociation. One of the things going forward as humans with these new frequencies, and we're heading into 2025, which is going to be a powerful year, is we're going to have to get used to feeling again. Do you know, even the good feelings? I've said this quite a while ago. I think I was talking to my friend Ian, who's going to be coming back onto this channel in January, where we were talking about the heart opening. Do you know the heart opening can actually be painful? Again, we're talking, open your heart and feel. But when somebody is closed down and they hold a lot of abuse and trauma, opening their heart and feeling can, you're gonna, be careful what you ask for, because you'll get it. You'll feel. And we've been programmed in this false matrix to not feel. So get used to feeling. Get used to feeling. Um, That's interesting. A lot. I'm being shown an example of somebody that goes like a serial killer. You'll often find that a serial killer will have suppressed something. Not saying you're all serial killers, but it starts somewhere. You know, have you ever took something, kept being stoic, best foot forward, plod, 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 keep the peace, keep the peace. Then one day something is said and woof, you go for it, you blast off. Same thing, just you're not running around with a hammer. Don't laugh, Clay, it's not funny. So get used to feeling. So we're going to use a deck that we used yesterday for some cards before I log off. And this is called the Enchanted Map Oracle Cards by Colette Baron Reed. 3 cards for today for those on the group healing. 3 cards for today for those on the group healing. 3 cards for those for today for those on the group healing. Guidance and guidance for going forward. See what wants to come through. Oh, ride the wave. Ride the wave. Gentle gardener at the bottom. Goblins. We'll come to that in a minute. Deck down. Sacred pool. Okay, sacred pool. You're in a sacred pool. Visualize yourself through this group here in the next few days in a sacred pool. There's been a lot of this in the healing sacred pools, sacred temples, sacred this, that, and the other. Okay, right. Goblins. Very, very, very sad, I know. But one of the things you will often find with any kind of upgrade healing, full moon, new moon, cacao circle, or whatever, Reiki attunement is goblin energy. This is nothing against goblins. What it means is you will have a moment of feeling really good. Really, yes, I get it. I feel high vibe and all of that good stuff. Then all of a sudden, because your frequency has increased, you will come across an energy working through another person that senses your light, senses the fact that here is another human being wanting to step into light, love, compassion, sovereignty, and empowerment. And they will try and bring you down by working through another human being. Truth. Okay. And in that moment, because you're so, right, it will hurt. Apologies, but that's what happens. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. And I want to say again, we're going to have to understand that there are a lot of traumatized people out there. There's a lot of people out there with no filters. There's a lot of people out there that have no thingy of boundaries, that haven't been taught how to be respectful, that haven't been taught how to what you can say and what you can't say and being inappropriate. People have not been taught how to channel their jealousy, their anger, their resentment, their greed, their lust, their anything. So what happens is onto other people. If that happens to you, step back from it, see it for what it is. Sage yourself, smudge yourself, zone out. If you know you're going to be going to someone today that's going to be like that, or the next couple of days as well, just maybe cancel, step back from it. There's no point trying to hide from this energy. Speaking of goblins, internal goblins as well. Hiding from our internal goblins, not sinking into it, remembering the light, because we've got the external goblins and we've got the internal goblins. Also, as well, triggering as it is, there could be other goblins working through you. This can happen as well. This can be unhealed trauma, it can be codes that don't want to be removed. Everything is energy. It can be attachments to trauma. It can be other things as well that sees you trying to empower yourself and wants to derail that. Again, one of the things I talk about with clients when we start removing entities and things is self mastery. There is no point having an entity removed if you're not going to change what brought that in. Okay? So if it was that you had a bit of a temper, fine. Who doesn't? And that entity, that being thought, we've got a player here. We've got a host. Let's come in. You've got to master that anger. You've got to master that anger. You've got to master whatever it is that brought that in. So yes, powerful card is goblins, sacred pool, cleansing energy, cleansing showers. One of the things I did for myself this morning with my itchy nose was I had a right good I slowed down this morning. I wasn't living by the clock, and I did some exfoliation. When I exfoliate, I always visualize not just the physical skin coming off, but the energetic skin. And when it comes into the bath, I always visualize it leaving the land, and I'll always rinse the bath out afterwards and visualize that old physical skin and energetic skin leaving the earth, leaving my life, leaving everybody else alone and going. So nice cleansing showers today, cleansing baths if you use your oils, can use salt, you can use nice, organic exfoliators, nice herbal teas, a light diet as well. You will find that, when we're having an upgrade and stuff, the body gets so busy trying to acclimatize a new energy that it can't spend as much time in the stomach area. So eating a light diet if you can, okay? And whatever is a light diet for you, not a Greg's pasty or a Mars bar. You know what I mean. A nice salad, a nice little jacket potato or whatever. Something light, a nice soup, a nice homemade soup, homemade smoothie, that kind of thing. And being thankful for being on this journey, being thankful for being on your healing journey, and really giving yourself the opportunity to step into being your own master, your own guru. Because again, going forward with this planetary shift that we're on, we are going to be, and it's happening now, we're being asked to stop idolizing the external. The minute you start idolizing the external, you've lost yourself. Every time you idolize the external, be it a superstar, a celebrity, a political person, a member of the royal family, a sports star, or whatever. I'm not saying that you can't be inspired. That's different. Listening to a podcast and going, that really inspired me, or whatever. What I'm talking about is obsession. Giving your power away. You give your power away. And that's how you end up in emptiness, which is how you end up with people being transfixed by it all. So start becoming your own guru, because within you is a guru. You've just been taught in a false matrix to believe that you aren't a guru, because when people start to realize that they are a guru, game changes for the Voldemorts of the world. And that's not just the elite, that's the people in your life that want to keep you controlled. So that could be school teachers, bosses, whatever, whoever it is in your life that wants to keep you controlled, that wants to keep you in worshipping. We can also worship people in our own lives. So you get people that worship bosses, or worship the doctor, or worship the local vicar, or worship, that's my door, ignore it, or worship a partner or whatever, or worship a parent. And, unfortunately, it's not unfortunately, thank God, we need to step away from that. And we're going to start stepping away from that. So, we're done. Hope you've enjoyed that video. Hope you've enjoyed this group healing. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for embracing it. Look after yourselves going forward. Remember, lots of water to help the body flush, lots of rest, space, time. This isn't a race. This isn't a competition of who can be awakened, of who can be ascended the quickest. You'll often find the people that are going to get through this are the ones that go through it step by step, steady away. They're not shouting it from the rooftops. They're not boasting about it. They're not making a big song and dance about it. They're doing it their own way. Allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to go through the process. Whatever it is you're letting, if it's stuff that you've done, cut yourself some slack. Cut yourself some slack. Yes. Thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.